take, every fighter you meet, every record you beat, will be following you. Every single jump, every trophy won, every wicket you break, every breakaway you make, every cross, every dribble, every dunk, every pit stop, every loss, every victory.
Studio.
Every single sport.
Welcome inside the locker room.
It's 8:15, and you know, of course, because it's Monday, we get to talk sports at 8:15 from now till top of the hour, 9 o'clock, or before that. But Tega is here. Tega has all the details and all the analysis, all the wonderful points in sports news today.
Is that why you blocked my face on YouTube?
No.
Good morning,
It's just
Lagos.
because you've been teasing me all morning.
Good morning, Lagos.
Lagos, join the conversation on WhatsApp. Send a message to 0809 444 0981. That's 0809 444 0981. If you use Twitter, use the hashtag LockerRoom981. That way we can see your messages and we'll read it live on the show. We'll start with this first story. Also on YouTube, by the way, you can send a message on YouTube. We're streaming live there, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Welcome. Roger Federer suffered a surprise defeat at the Borna Coric in the final of the Halle Open and will lose this world #1 ranking. Now, Croatia's Coric, who's 21 years old, won 7-6, 8-6, 3-6, 6-2 to end the Wimbledon champions' run of the 20 consecutive victories on grass. Federer, who's 36 years old, was bidding to win the event for the 10th time and to secure his 99th career title heading into Wimbledon next week. The Swiss defeat means that Rafael Nadal will take over as the world #1. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. I'm just telling. Rafa Nadal was on vacation and became world #1.
Just like
Same
that.
way Roger Federer was on vacation and became world #1. I mean, sometime during clay court season. But it's amazing the way these guys have dominated so far. And it's interesting to see that till now that rivalry is still there. But it wasn't a very good week for Roger Federer and most in general. Yes, there were days he got the result, but on this particular day in this final, Coric did everything absolutely right. Roger Federer struggled a lot. He struggled so. I mean, there were. I think he had shots, variations, and selections in his mind. But what his hand was executing was different because at some point he literally stood with his back to the wall and was yelling at himself.
Wow.
I haven't seen that. I mean, I've seen Roger Federer has been changing personality as he ages, but that was a new
the stress of the tournament.
Yeah, that was one. So he had a few wild shots. He also had a few challenges in 3 consecutive wrong calls. And that's not Roger Federer. He wouldn't challenge, and he wouldn't challenge for any reason. In fact, sometimes he has so many challenges towards the end of the set that he actually now just feels like, okay, let me use one to give myself breathing space. But this time, to show how for the set was
he
over.
lost it.
Yeah, so I think it was just his experience and maybe his quality that left him in the match for that long. Because if you ask me, Bonachori should have finished won it in straight sets and ended it. But he'll be very upset himself. This is not the result you want to have just a week before Wimbledon, where you're supposed to be defending your title. That's 2,000 points. And to make matters worse, even if Djokovic did lose in Queens this week to Cilic in a final that looked like he was going to win it because he did have match points, and then Marin Cilic saved it. There are now more pieces in the jigsaw puzzle, and you don't want to get into your title defense not feeling very confident about your strokes, your ground strokes, your backhand, your forehand, whatever it is. So I don't think he's in a good place now. It's going to be a lot of work. Hopefully he'll get over the frustration by the time he sits down and analyzes the video. But it wasn't a good week for him. Congratulations to Borna and Mari
But what does this put Borna
back in the place he's supposed to be? The problem with Bonachurch is that he's not consistent. But if you look around the circuit, he's one of the most talented young people. He's right up there. If you ask me, with his talent, he's right up there with Sasha Zverev, Dominic Thiem. Unfortunately, he's not consistent. Yes, a few injuries here and there, but also him as a person, he doesn't push that much. He doesn't work that hard. So he's beaten Nadal, he's beaten Andy Murray.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen says he's actually accused his critics of double standards in the wake of the Sebastian Vettel into Valtteri Bottas Mercedes at the start of the French GP. I think next time you see Seb, you should ask him to change his style, That's what the Dutchman said in the post-race press conference. Because honestly, it's not acceptable. That's what they said to me at the beginning of the season. So I think they should do the same. And then, of course, Seb wouldn't do anything and just drive again and learn from this and go on. That's my advice to everyone in the room. Verstappen then added, I hope when we get to Austria that the journalists ask him if he will change his approach, because that is what I heard on so many races. It really annoyed me, and it was stupid to ask, he added. I'm getting annoyed about it.
Okay, so here's where the drama was. First of all, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. He won the French Grand Prix after dominating all weekend. In qualifying was so amazing. Mercedes finished with a 1-2. Hamilton in front, Bottas behind, Sebastian Vettel third. Congratulations to Mercedes, they got it together, and to Lewis Hamilton for winning the race in France, and then extending that gap between himself and Sebastian Vettel at the top of the Drivers' Championship to 14 points. Having said that, let's go to where the drama was. So the race starts with Hamilton in front and Vettel in second, and Bottas in second and Sebastian Vettel in third. Now the race starts, and Sebastian Vettel usually has a good start, so he jumps in, but Hamilton blocks him off to protect his own position. And in some ways to help Bottas, because Hamilton protects his position, Bottas protects his position, and Vettel has nowhere to go. So what it meant was that Vettel was supposed to hold back and let Bottas go. But instead he ended up pushing, which made him to hit Bottas, and then he took Bottas out of the race. So Bottas had to go into not out of the race, but out of contention, because Bottas had to go back to the pit lane to change his tires because his car was damaged, and then Vettel had to go to change his front wing. In fact, Vettel had a bad day because he hit Grosjean, and I've forgotten the third person. He hit like 3 people.
Only him
on that day, and fans still voted him as driver of the day. I couldn't believe it. That was the most ridiculous driver of the day I've seen. But he hit 3 people on the day, and so at the end of the race, they're asking the top 3 now, what do you think Vettel should do? And Hamilton says that Vettel shouldn't have had a 5-second penalty. It should have been more, because he shouldn't be able to hit somebody and then end up finishing ahead of the person, because he did finish ahead of Bottas. He finished in 4th, I think, and Bottas finished in 7th.
Wow.
So he was like, he shouldn't end up finishing. So they asked Verstappen, and remember when Verstappen was crashing early this season, everyone was saying, he's so reckless, he should change his style of driving. So Verstappen was like, why are you asking me? Why don't you just tell me what you told me?
Exactly.
And that's why he's saying this.
Let the same thing that applied to me apply to this guy.
Yeah, don't do double standards. Don't say, okay, Vettel made a mistake today and hit 3 cars. No, tell him to change his tactics of driving. Tell him that he needs to learn. Tell him that he needs to tell him everything you told me. That's what I want you to do. But it was interesting to see him react the way he reacted. I think one of the most amazing. But Charles Leclerc has been the standout star. He finished with a point this week again, and people are looking at him like he's a driver for the future. Monitoring that young driver, but he's been making week out, he's been bringing in points for his team. So interesting to see the young coming up, but the battle between Vettel and Hamilton just continues. Let's see how Austria goals.
We'll watch that very closely. Remember, you can send in messages on WhatsApp. It's 0809 444 981. You can also send a message on Twitter. Use that hashtag LockerRoom981. We'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news and read some of your messages here on WhatsApp. It's Locker Room on Smooth 98.1.
This is St. Martin's. So you like funk? You like
we actually
jazz?
literally did
You like
okay.
world
We did
music?
so
You like R&B? You're welcome to the home of great music.
We'll take this data station.
And very quickly.
Okay. So
Mom, when is it bad luck to see a black cat?
Yeah, and okay, only the
I'm not sure, darling.
22 players, 2 linesmen, and 4 billion refs. But whether the game goes your way or not, Uber is a smart way to get to a bar or your friend's house. We arrive in minutes, and you don't have to worry about parking, so you won't miss a moment. And you can celebrate knowing there's a sober driver behind the wheel. Plus, you can add stops on the way, so you can pick up extra players. Ride with Uber when you head out to catch the game. Uber, where to?
What will make the 2018
Eva.
FIFA World Cup your best one yet? Sport channels, the pre and post match analysis, the magazine shows, world-class experts and commentators, or the fact that you can connect from anywhere on your laptop, tablet, or phone. It's
This
not
song
just
that just
one
fits
thing,
in my ear
it's
and I'm
everything. Connect with greatness and catch all 64 FIFA World Cup matches live and in HD on SuperSport.
Nescafe. Stand a chance to win 1
You
million.
people should just dash me this 1 million naira.
Nescafe 3-in-1 pouch.
All these things, when they tell me find counter, scratch here and win. I never win it. Just give me the 1M.
I gave up many years ago.
Give me the 1M. Let me just win. Otherwise, you don't want to give me money.
And you can be a winner. Progress is 3 steps away. Get started with Nescafe.
We're back in.
Smooth 98.1.
This is the Smooth Breakfast Show.
And you're listening to Sports Analysis inside of Locker Room 91. Use that hashtag on Twitter. You should be following at Smooth91 FM on Twitter. And using that hashtag to send a message to us on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, of course, you can send a message to 0809 444 981. The next story is about what happened in Nigeria, precisely Delta State. Interesting. What could have been a bloody weekend at the Athletics Federation of Nigeria Golden League was averted as armed thugs sent to assault a gathering of athletes beat a retreat at the Delta State Polytechnic in Ozoro. However, the gang, on hearing that the litany of woes by the athletes came up, most especially as it also concerned homeboy Ogane Ewero, they decided to abandon their mission and instead show their solidarity with the athletes. Worried by the developments, the Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa later sent some security details to make sure that no athlete was harmed.
Yeah, this was very interesting. So, according to the athletes, they mentioned the name of one of the AFN officials that may have been the person to send thugs to beat up the athletes, because the athletes were protesting basically everything, their welfare and all.
And you sent thugs?
And then the athletes claim that it is the guy that sent the thugs. The guy has come out to deny that he's not the one. So investigations are still going on. But what happened was the athletes were there to protest their poor treatment, and somebody sent thugs to beat them up. So the thugs get there, and the thugs came in SUVs, clean SUVs. So they get to this, and they meet the athletes, and the athletes start telling them the story of their life, stories of their life, how they're being treated. And then the thugs are like, you people are treated badly, why are we beating you? And then they start supporting them. It's the most ridiculous thing I've seen, but I mean, we can laugh about it now, but it must have been a very scary situation for the athletes at the time.
Yes.
So I guess when security agents came, now, so we'll know who did what and who sent what. But what it is that those athletes
demand, really, if you're within your right to ask for that, especially if you're supporting a team that's pushing the country forward. Anyway, talking about teams that move the country forward, Super Eagles performed really well on Friday, don't you think?
Yeah.
Now we're looking for more. Coach Rohr has admitted that the Super Eagles must be on the attack against Argentina in St. Petersburg on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, and diligently take the chances that come their way against the two-time World Cup winners. Very strong contenders. Now, he said in his words, simply put, we must take even half chance and be on the as much as possible. Perhaps a draw could be good to qualify, but we cannot think and play for a draw. Sometimes when you play for a draw, you get punched in the face late in the day. It'll be a tough game, and we must go with a tough mentality from the start to the end.
Yeah, I totally agree that a draw could be enough, but if we aim, you know how they say, if you aim for the skies, you make the mountains. So
Yeah.
if you aim for the mountains, you may hit you don't want to hit the ground. The bottom line. So yes, they should go out for a win, but this shoot aside that his policy is giving, I understand. Now taking wild shots from wherever they are.
In secondary school, we used to call it tombo tombo.
You know, but it is a real issue. It's a real danger. Super Eagles need to go out for the win. If they do get a draw and results in the other match go in their favor, then they'll qualify. Because at this point in time, even with goal difference, they seem to be in a good place.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is come out and play that match with all of their heart, and they can end up qualifying from the group. But let's see how it goes. I think all the players are ready. Every single person is charged up. Let's not carry the way. Let's forget the Iceland results. Iceland is gone. Argentina next.
In fact, after that game, just use the hero.
Argentina is just name. Don't worry.
We'll really?
Yep.
Okay. Tega said that. What do you think? Send a message to WhatsApp 08094440981. We have this message in here. It's from Solomon in Akoka. Solomon says, Nigeria's win against Iceland on Friday made some things absolutely clear to me. Nigerians love Nigerians and Nigeria. Everyone became everyone's brother and sister. No Muslim, no Christian, no tribe, no ethnic group, not even male or female, just Nigerians. And that's true. He continues, he says, football is a god. I wonder what would happen if we ever win the World Cup. Eagerly looking forward to the man from Akoka. Yes, we won the World Cup before, haven't we? So yeah, looking forward to another one actually. Daniel Tubbs from Onikpon says, the way these Argentines are prepared to finish us, me, I'm scared though. As much as that Messi is having a bad tournament, I still fear him when it comes to Nigeria. Super Eagles eyes. That's a good call. Shei said, England is wicked. Senegal is sleeping on bicycle. Super Eagles will injure Argentina tomorrow. Tega, in one sentence, please describe performance on Friday. Valentine, what if Messi is down with malaria by 6:45 p.m. tomorrow? I'll tell you, it's a good sign. To someone and finish ahead of the person. Has it not taken people out of a race and went ahead to win, to either win or get points?
I need you to mention scenarios.
Tony from Magodo says, good morning all. AL I do not agree with the driver of the date votes. Vettel got it because he came back from last but won after the first safety car and had the most outtakes for along the way. Now the pace in the Ferrari is incredible. That's the one thing that it has. Mercedes, it can follow closely matched cars. Vessel for Williams because they are great show, guys. Thank you very, very much. Move on very quickly now. Gareth Southgate insists that he would not swap Harry Kane for any other number 9 at the World Cup following his hat trick against Panama on Sunday. I heard it was 6-1. It spelled Panama like in full. Kane is now top scorer of the World Cup following his treble, which included 2 penalties, adding to the 2 he scored in the 2-1 victory against Tunisia on Monday. In the top, for anyone we know the ways he's going to bury them. You sit there very confident in his ability to take chances. Clearly, the stage to do that is this one. He started brilliantly. The penalty, some dismiss at being the length of time he had to wait to take it, the distractions to keep focused and refocus. It tells you a bit about his mental toughness he's got.
Yeah, I totally agree. He had 2 penalties, absolutely buried them. The third goal really had nothing to do with it. He was just in his corner, and then someone took a shot and it came off him and went into the back of the net. As in, he literally had the back of his boot as well standing. But sometimes you can, I mean, you've scored so much or you're so effective that even when you don't know anything about it,
your body will just be working.
Yeah, your body is working for you. So he now has 5 goals. He's top scorer at the World Cup, and you
nice.
Begin to believe that maybe even against Belgium, if they do play him, if they do start him, then he'll be getting more goals at this tournament. So good one for Harry Kane. With all Lewandowski's Guinness Book of Records that he has, he couldn't manufacture 1 goal against Colombia yesterday, especially as they so Harry Kane is really doing very well. And if you ask me, if I'm England, truly with anybody else, he's doing great.
With the coach is completely normal. Mascherano said ahead of the must-win match against Nigeria in St. Petersburg tomorrow. Obviously, when we feel uncomfortable about something, we speak with them, because if we didn't, we'll be hypocrites. We know the situation is tricky, he said. We're united actions to express possible, so the team goes into the game in the best position.
That's what they play. That's his official story. But reports that we know of, I would say it's an official story. Because reports that we know of was immediately after the game, players got into the dressing room and there was chaos. Players were telling him, and names that were mentioned, Sergio Conagüero was in front ahead of those names, saying that Sampaoli, you have to step down. And at the end of the players standing on one end and the coach on the other end, the coach agreed, okay, for the Nigeria match, I will take a back seat. You given he did go to but even yesterday, reports came out to say that if the players are going to decide who the team would be, and it's not reports from one person, hotel room, in the same hotels. No. So this is the official story. They are united. Coach,
in the back end,
players in the back end, like, whoa, guy, better mind yourself and sit in that corner. And I understand the frustration, especially with what he has done with the team. Your shortcomings, especially on the back end. People keep mentioning names like Otamendi, to buy through the season. Mascherano halfway through the season. His good season was maybe 2 years ago, give or take a year. In as much as you in the Argentine team, their form is begs a lot. So don't come out and say, it's Argentine team. But even with those shortcomings, he had a lot of time from qualification to the World Cup to make any of that. And doing things around, he didn't do any of that. So it's understandable for the players to be frustrated. But all in all, this one works in favor of Nigeria. So, back well.
Message from Victor. Thank you very much. He says, kudos to Germany and my darling Brazil team for not crucial match against Costa Rica. While for Tega Super Eagles of Nigeria team, they should start. Kenny Hittiger says 2 penalties for the team.
True.
All right. Keep your messages coming in. The number on WhatsApp is 0800-981. We're still talking sports inside the locker room. We'll be back after this break.
Hello everyone, this is your soul singer, Maka, and you're listening to the Smooth Breakfast with Valentine Ohu.
Hi, how you doing?
You are beautiful, strong, dauntless, determined, extraordinary, intelligent, innovative, talented, unique, aiding in comfort.
When there's money to be made here,
whenever, we're here to enable you to be one with you.
Trust me, this is better. Do you know that the moment you start your car is when the engine faces the most pressure? Normal oil drains quickly, and this leads to engine wear. That's why you need this special engine oil, Castro Magnetic Oil.
It's not the same one that we were predicting with Iceland.
No, but we want to zero now.
Of course, my customers have seen a great difference in their engine performance since they started using it.
Castro Magnatec engine oil has intelligent molecules that cling to your engine parts for an extra layer of protection. So when you turn in your car,
that
your engine is already protected.
Oh, that's taking a picture.
Castro Magnatec. Instant protection from the start.
What is that dream of yours? A vacation, further education, a business perhaps? Get started with Nescafe. Stand a chance to win 1 million naira and other cash prizes when you buy a Nescafe 3-in-1 pouch. Winning is an easy 3-in-1 step. 1. Go to your neighborhood supermarket. 2. Buy a pouch of 10 Nescafe 3-in-1 sachets and get an extra sachet free. 3. Scratch the card you find within the pouch and you can be a winner. Progress is 3 steps away. Get started with Nescafe.
Oh my god, I think my husband is having an affair.
Oh, stop it.
I heard him say he's going to see someone called Paige from his office.
Paige is Paige Financial.
Paige Financial?
Of course, Paige Financial is offering your husband access to a loan of up to 2.5 million naira. And the best,
I need to get familiar with Paige.
Exactly. Visit their website www.pagefinancial1631page.
Oh, thanks. But you men still need to be monitored.
Okay, well, you monitor us, let Paige monitor our finances. Page Financial further.
Page Financial. This is Steve Jazz Guitars.
Come up, messages.
You are listening to the Nigerians number one station. Number one station.
Where your love music, love life radio station is Smooth 98.1. We're talking sports inside of the locker room right now. Send your messages to us on WhatsApp 0809 440 981. I'm Valentine, and Tega Supreme is here covering everything sports from Russia back to Nigeria. Now I'll go to the Germans now. Sweden coach Jan Anderson accused Germany of rubbing it in our faces, in his words. In his words, Anderson said, some of Germany's leaders celebrated by running in our direction and rubbing it in our faces. That got me very angry. Well, he said, got me angry. I added the very. We fought it out for 90 minutes, and when the final whistle blows, you shake hands and you leave. So I was very angry with that.
I like the guy. It's true. Look, let me put it this way. Germany fought so hard for that win, and even if I don't agree with that tactics of one too many touches, passing the ball around, a little more directness could have helped them. A lot of times. The minute they got that goal, it was redemption, salvation, confirmation. It was everything together. I doubt if they even knew which direction they ran in at this point in time. So for him to feel slighted by somebody's celebration, I don't get it. It's not like they went to and said, we just beat you. There's
nothing wrong with celebrating.
Look, they ran. It's different from the Emmanuel Adebayo that scored against Arsenal and ran to the Arsenal fans. That one we wanted to score. This one was in the direction that was they were facing. So what I was natural. Exactly what I was in front of, they did not see you. I can guarantee you, Jan, you were not on them. You were the last thing on their mind. All they could see was, thank God we are still in this World Cup. Because it was really a tough one. Sweden did give them a lot to do, but again, I still say it's down to the way that this German team is playing. The defense line is a bit too high. Jerome Boateng is out of position almost every time, and the red card he eventually got to put his team under more pressure just showed the kind of erratic way he's been playing all through the tournament. So now that he's suspended for one game, maybe let's see what turns out for them, but it was good to see Germany get that goal and stay back in the tournament.
We'll quickly round up with a few messages here. Benga says that pig might be right with his predictions. After all, those of us that have lampooned the pig should tender an unreserved apology.
No, it can't be right, because it's either one of Nigeria or Argentina that is going, not the two countries like the pig claim. So we are still eating it.
Kaka, we see your song. Ahmed Musa is a goal. Super Eagles is a goal. Defeat Argentina is a goal. Round of 16 is a goal. Tega Supreme is a goal. Valentine Ohu is a goal.
Thank you.
Lagos, thank you very much. In the next 15 minutes, we get to talk about one of the issues hitting us in our newspapers this morning. It's going to be a sad one because we'll be talking about the killings in Plateau State. But keep your messages coming into Twitter at Tega Supreme or at LIS International for everything sports and related issues. Keep it here. It's Smooth Breakfast. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Every
Now.